just find those managers anywhere, and that's where you can drop off, trade, and do all your fun stuff. Now, crafting is interesting, and I haven't really dived very deep into it yet. But, and we can go ahead and quickly look. I don't know if there's any crafting in this city. We might have to jump over to the other city. Where was the major city at that had the crafting? Do we have craft? Whoops, I can't. Now why isn't this scrolling? There we go. Food merchant, camp supply. Where was all the crafting goodies? Maybe over here because there's, yeah, bank clerks. I think they're over here. Armor merchant. This is a bigger city, so we're going to jump over there. We need to go out and to the right. But we can look at the windows, but like most crafting interfaces, you have to be at a station. Yeah, thanks, Slane. Sorry, I saw that a little bit late. But you can look at the... Now, I don't have any of my dragons. I left them in the stable. But at any stable, I can get one back out. So, I mean, I do alright soloing without a dragon around here, as long as I'm a little bit careful. But I am a little slower, too, getting to the other areas. Now, crafting, from what I've seen, you can take all the professions, you can do all the initial quests to learn every profession there is, and there's a goodly list of professions. Let's go in sprint mode here, because we're not too far away now. And so there's like leather working, cooking, armor merchant, weapon merchant, tinkerer. Then there's like alchemy. There may or may not be some others. But when I first got into it and looked at it, it just looked like a normal, like a very basic WoW type kind of crafting with its own interface. But I think there's a couple things that they're trying to go for a unique angle with by doing, like, especially in conjunction with refinement. Now, there's some items you can find as drops. Let me look at my bag here as we're rolling into town. Crafting materials. Now here's something called refinement essence, and this is for refining. But there's also breaking down items, and I guess they don't qualify items breaking down as part of the crafting system, because I heard people say they've had a tough time figuring out how to break down items. But I guess you take an item, like let's say a rock, and it might be I can't remember now how it goes. I think it's the extraction. Yeah, there's menus at the bottom of your bag for extraction, batch extraction, sort, split item, and trash bin. You click on extraction and it turns your icon to like what looks like a wand or a sword or something, and you can hover over items. Looks like it looks like maybe it only works with equipment. Let's try equipment. Yeah, so it looks like we can extract, and it'll actually show us what the item will look like after extraction. Requirement, the normal is a control wizard, level 15, attack range 25, damage 237 to 290. Is that better than what I have on? And then after, it says you get a recipe for control wand. So that's pretty doggone awesome, actually. So if I click on that, I don't know if I need an item to do that, or... No, there we go. We extracted it. And I guess we're getting recipes for a lot of this stuff. So by breaking down equipment, it seems we're learning recipes. So now we're going to break down Seeker Wand. Oh, it's a chance based. Okay, thanks, Slane. Slane is saying that you get a chance to get the recipe. So let's try the Seeker Wand. Vanguard Curved Bow. Let's try to get that. And then try to get the recipe for the Swift Green Faced Pants. If it's only a chance, then I'm guessing that the better the item, the lower the chance. I'm just guessing. Okay, so let's look at equipment. Did we get any recipes? So because I was looking at only the equipment tab, I wasn't actually seeing the new items popping up. But it looks like we got crafting materials, like we did not get the recipe. And it looks like I just got something else here. A rough invocation orb. Increases the success rate of equipment enhancement. I'll show you that in a minute here too. But let's, so that's really interesting. It looks like I did not get any of the recipes, but you do get stuff. You can get materials for extraction. I just call it breaking down. Now, around here are some different crafting NPCs. Right over here, the cook. So let's go to cook. I don't know if this is the same interface. So here I have a ton of material because I got all that minced meat from sending my dragon out. Now this one I'm a little less familiar with. Whoops. I'm just kind of comparing something real quick. That's why I'm jumping back and forth. Okay, so I have this recipe. So basically I have one recipe to show you, and when you click on it up in the top right, it will show you all the materials you need, and then if you have any of that, it'll tell you the number you have and the number you need. So I only need 3 minced meat to make minced meat platter. That's the only, and it's a very basic recipe. Right here is a catalyst. Adding a catalyst during production increases the possibility of quality enhancement of equipment. Now if you look down here, there's 3 tabs with percentage numbers above them. The first one says minced meat platter, just gives you the information on it, and above it says 95.4%. The next one says 3.3% and then 1.3%. Now if I increase the catalyst, which is a marketplace item, and I'm not sure exactly where the catalyst is coming from, like literally, like are we basically buying it? I'm trying to figure that one out, because I don't seem to have gotten these as a drop, and they're not in my bag, and I can keep increasing this. I think it just increases the cost, because yeah, so we learned that. So here's something that I had to learn, and I learned it just for you guys, because that's the kind of guy I am. So if we add 1 catalyst, we have to pay station cash. Okay? Be careful adding catalyst. If you spend station cash for that. So to increase, but if you look at the percentages, they do increase. So we're not going to add any catalyst, and we can decide how many we want here, down here, typical crafting, and we can say 1. I just want 1, so we can start crafting, and it goes boing, and there we have it. Now I'm not sure if this window over here is different. No, that's the same one. So that's essentially how you craft. I mean, that's a basic for the crafting, but let's go to like a weapon or armor merchant, someone else here. Maybe the alchemist. Where are they at? Over in here, I think.
Find it for you.
Oh, that's like an alchemist merchant.
What else were you looking for?
Oh, here we go. Master alchemist. Did I learn alchemy? I think I did. There's no... Now, it looks like we can make the exact same thing at the alchemist that I just did at cooking, But I think that's just a coincidence. I think there might, so it shows there might be some overlap. But I'm sure the alchemist is going to be very different. Uh, Now, what did I want to look at while I was here? Not that. Maybe I don't really need to go to the other ones to show you, just the alpha variety. But here you can actually look at the interfaces. Here's weaponsmith, armorsmith, and they just added different goofy little, well, not goofy, but different little graphical effect. The windows just look different to kind of look cool, which is kind of neat. But there is one here. Oh, I see. Here's the different ones. Carpenter, tinkerer, chef, alchemy, armorsmith, and weaponsmith. Now up here you have a thing called material refinement. This is a material refinement window. Now you don't have to be, as far as I know, you don't have to be, whoops. How do I get to that now? Forgot how to access that. Skills, mastery, equipment. No, that I didn't want to show that yet. So here we go. Here's the refinement window. Material refinement. And it looks like you have to have one of these refinement essences. And I'm actually not sure how I got these. I did have 2 of them. I only have 1 left. So I either got it from turning in a quest or I got it as a drop or reward. So I don't know the rarity on these. Maybe Slain in the chat room knows. The rarity, so I don't know the rarity on these. But this is kind of interesting, this window. Because, whoops. Because you can adjust these percentages. There's 4 different vials here. One says invasive, defense, cumulative energy, and preservation. And then there's a colored percentage number at the below that. Now, below that, there's 2 icons or 2 slots where you can add materials. And if you click over it, it kind of automatically reads the items you currently have in your bag. And they seem to all be crafting related, just drops. Now, each of these do something different. We'll raise all these 4 levels differently. And you can put 2 slots, plus you can adjust the number of that item. So if I want it on this left one, let's just choose my sharp horn. I got 2 of these from killing some giants. So I picked that, and you can immediately see that it raised invasive to 20%. It raised defense to 50, cumulative to 15, and preservation to 15. Now let's choose something else in this slot here. Let's try the crust. Now it readjusted this. Now it did raise cumulative and preservation, but it lowered defense and invasive. So this is a very neat kind of way of, I guess, of simulating an alchemist lab where you're like adding different amounts of stuff to get different results. Now underneath these I can add a number. See, I want 2 horns now, and you can see it readjusted again. Defense went back up, and now these 2 went down a little. And let's do this. Put that back up, and it readjusts it. Let's try something else. Let's try bone on this side. Now we can see how that, and now I can add 7 of them. Let's see what that does. Boy, it bumped my invasive all the way to 43, then 23 defense, 19. So, we can kind of decide how we want to do that. Let me just lower that some, so I'm not wasting all my materials. Refinement cost is down here, lower left. If I was able to make, if I had more than one of these, I'd be able to increase the amount of items. And I can go ahead and start refining. And it does a little animation, blub, 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 and bling, I got defense catalyst, purity 2%. And here's the information window. A defensive catalyst can be added during creation of armor. And it can enhance the defense value and defense enhancement limit of the item. The purer the catalyst, the better the result will be. So now, let's go to armor merchant. Where's our armor merchant? This map is a little hokey. I mean, it's not hokey. It's just, yeah, I can't zoom in anymore. How am I supposed to accurately find where the armor merchant is amongst all these overlapping icons? I don't know. There's my slider. Okay. I can see some things over here. Let's check this out. Oops. Is he over here in this building? Oh, that's a symbol for the bank, I think. Yeah, for auction house. That was a gavel. I should have known. So that is transportation center officer. So it's I never learned these icons. I'm sorry. Who is this here? A cook? Another chef? Oh, here we go. That looks like a weapon, but we want the armor. Boy, this symbol over here. There we go. Armor smith, right here. So, let's go over here. Ooh, I don't have any recipes yet. Well, shucks. I guess I can't do anything with my catalyst. But, let's go ahead and look at this. Of course, the recipe would be in the left, and in the top right section would be what I needed to craft that armor. I'm at the armor smith. And then if I wanted to, I could add catalyst, but that's at a cost of station cash. Now down here are 3 little bars, and there's a button. It's not working. I think I have to actually be able to have a recipe in here. Now, why don't I have like that super basic? Here we go. What's this stuff? Oh shoot, this is getting into even more stuff. Anyways, I'm guessing. See, we can adjust by quality, by color. This is just the quality of the item, like rare, super rare, you know, epic, whatever, or all. Okay, here we go. I had to go up to this menu and select the item type. So it looks like I don't have anything yet. I need coarse leather scrap. I have 1 of 2, and I need unrefined ore. I think there's a bunch of unrefined ore in my dragon stable. No, nothing under helmet. Here's pants. I can't craft any of these. But down here, it looks like it shows the what it's showing here is it looks like there's different quality chances of getting a better quality. Right here, at 96.7% chance of getting a white quality beginner cloth pants. And then here's the stats for it. Physical defense 68.4 to 75.6. But there's also a 3.3% chance of getting a green quality beginner cloth pants, which offer 78.9 to 87.2% physical defense, which is better. And I imagine it would even go up in some cases in for certain recipes. And now over here is where we can add the catalyst. When we mouse over this button, we can add that defense catalyst that I just made. It looks like I also have a preservation catalyst. So if I add the defense catalyst and just click on it, let's see if it readjusts. Yep, it's readjusting. So here's physical defense 78.9. And then it shows it would be 79.7 to 87.2 by using this catalyst. So you're creating, I guess that's kind of neat. I have pros and cons about this. I'm weary about this. On one side of the coin, I think it's awesome that you can do this. It's actually pretty neat. I mean, when you think about it, you can take. It's like WoW with more variety, right? or whatever. It's like a typical standard crafting system with more variety. You just find or win or get the recipes through extraction or however you get the recipes. I've found some through drops, and you learn them. Maybe you can even buy them off the auction house. But then once you buy them, you have you have your standard materials, your base materials that you need to make that item. But then you can spend some cash to, this is basically correlates directly to increasing overall chances. So you can do that if you want. Spend some cash. You can see how the chances go up to 9.8% chance if I spend 40 station cash. But then you have catalysts, which can increase the stats on that same recipe. So that's kind of interesting. It's a way of boosting, you know, here's where I'm weary about this system. It's inevitably people min-max, right? And I'm wondering how useful that variety will be 3 months from now. You know, uh, I don't know. I mean, what will the market, the economy look like 3 months from now? Uh, 3 months from now, I'm afraid of what's going to happen is that anything below, that, oh, you've got beginner cloth pants. Oh, shoot. We won't find anything below 100% defense, which was made by using 10 catalysts and a super potion of defense catalyst. You won't find anything less than that in the marketplace. Everything below that's worthless. And then that pants will cost you at least, 20,000 gold. It creates like a market wall. Like, it doesn't. What I'm saying is what happens in some MMOs. You reach a threshold which becomes basically all or nothing in certain economies. There's no gradual price curve for all levels. You know how it's typical of MMOs, kind of. Um, you get higher level, and pretty soon, after months and months of play, there's only level 50 plus stuff in the auction house, and it's only of certain quality, and anything below that is you'll never make money off it. So it's totally worthless to even bother crafting anything below that. Stuff like that happens. I am being kind of pessimistic, but so I think that's pretty much a solid look at the crafting system as well.